Hi Cantor, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your February 2024 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, the Celtic Crossbar as always, and also pulled the Four Agreement and Wisdom of the Oracle card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off my one of those astrology eyes we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Right. So we have Uranus, and Uranus is actually in Taurus, which is your 11th house of friendships, groups, and hopes and wishes. And when we have the new moon in Aquarius around the 9th or 10th of February, that's actually going to be making a square aspect with Uranus, so that could definitely bring more of that energy to the forefront. Right, we have Scorpio, and for you guys, Scorpio is your 5th house of romance, creativity, and children. Astrologically speaking, it's pretty quiet there right now, but you could still have a focus on that area of life this month. And we have 9, and 9th house energy for you guys is Pisces. And of course, we've had Neptune there for a really long time. We have Saturn there as well, and toward the end of the month, we'll actually enter into Pisces season. So plenty of energy going through that 9th house, and 9th house in general points to foreign affairs, long distance travel, and philosophy. Alright, so we'll get started with the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Emperor, and challenging that, we have the Page of Wands. So, to me, these two energies say to me, whether this is someone else's energy or your energy, either way, I feel like the message would still be the same, which is to say, this Page of Wands looks like you just want to kick back and have a little more fun this month, you know? Maybe you don't want to stick too strictly to rules and guidelines, right? I feel like you just want to feel a little more free, a little bit less responsibilities on your plate this month. I feel like that's what you're yearning for this month. Alright, in the foundation position, we have the Ace of Cups. So yeah, maybe for some of you this could be pointing to the reason why. Maybe you've just felt more creative sparks lately, right? So maybe your more day-to-day routine doesn't seem to fit with what you're hoping to do right now. So yeah, like I said, maybe there just seems to be this energy within you that wants to explore. And that could be what that 9th house energy is pointing to as well, saying that you just feel that spark in you to take on new environments, right? New cultures, things along those lines. Right? In the past position, we have the Queen of Swords. So yeah, so in the past, it could just be saying that maybe you were always putting the needs of others first, right? And almost to your detriment at times. So while the goal might have been to get balance, you might have felt like it didn't necessarily always work out that way, right? To where you might have felt like the goal might have been a fair balance, but you might have felt like you ended up giving more than you were getting. All right, in the present position, we have the Five of Cups. So yeah, again, like I said, you could just be looking back on these past situations and feeling like there was a level of disappointment there, right? Where, like I said, I feel like the balance, the give and take in situations just might have felt off to where you felt like you ended up giving more than you were getting back in return. All right, and in your future position, we have the King of Cups. So yeah, this is Scorpio energy here, but more than anything, well, also we did see that come up in the dice. I feel like more than anything, this is saying that this is you committing more to yourself, you know, to say, okay, you know what, this is the month where I'm going to put my needs and my wants and desires more at the forefront, rather than always worrying about taking care of those around me. All right, in the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Three of Pentacles. So yeah, this could even just be pointing to you saying that because you want to take on less responsibility this month, maybe you're even delegating things to others around you, right? So maybe you're showing them, hey, this is how you do X, Y, Z, right? With the thought that, yeah, you usually are the one to do it. But now this month you actually want to show them how they could do it and fill in for you while you're able to explore other things this month. All right. In the environment position, we have the Empress. So yeah, like I said, you just might feel a really strong pull this month to embrace that energy, right? The more feminine energy, allowing things to come to you, right? Just getting in a little more relaxation. And like I said, it just feels like astrologically the timing lines up for that as well. Okay, and the hopes or fears position, we have the King of Swords. So yeah, like I said, this is probably more of a hope of yours where I feel like this is you just hoping that, yeah, you hope that you do communicate your needs clearly, right? And not feel like you might feel an urge to back down from them, right? So if you communicate what you want and there's a little resistance to that, normally you might feel like you might fold in those situations, but here you're hoping to state what you want and not really waver from that. All right, in the outcome position, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So yeah, it just looks like there's a feeling of a bit of exhaustion on your part, right? Which, like I said, to me seems to be the spark for why you do feel this call all of a sudden to explore new things, new options, right? Get a change of scenery for a little while. And this could just be saying that ultimately you might eventually end up coming back to quote unquote the real world, right? But it seems like it would be a helpful reset for you guys. And then it might help change your perspective on things too, right? You might come back to your daily routine and ask yourself, like, okay, does this still fit for me or not, right? There could still be some reevaluating going on once you close the month out, but that's what I see with that. All right, and bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles. So yeah, in this regard, I feel like it's more or less saying that this is just where you're at right now, where you're like, okay, I pour so much of myself, time, energy, maybe even finances into others. Now I need to pull that in for a little bit, right? Focus it more on myself and figure out what my next steps would be. All right, moving on to your Four Agreements card, we have Don't Make Assumptions. Let's see if we get that to focus. There we go. And it says, say goodbye to sadness and drama. Right? It says, all the sadness and drama you have lived in your life was rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally. The whole world of control between humans is based on that. Take a moment to consider this. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there, right? Could even just be saying that for some of you, as far as the assumptions and taking things personally, it could just be saying that one way it could play out, right, is maybe if you have been reluctant to be outspoken about what your needs are, right? Maybe you just figured that people would pick up on it, right? It could just be saying, or maybe having a fear that if you did communicate those needs, it wouldn't go your way. It could just be asking you to step out of that comfort zone a little bit and be more expressive around what you do need, and you actually might find that your needs are met more willingly than you might have expected. All right. For your Wisdom Oracle card, we have Time to Go. There's the artwork, and the number is 45. Okay, essential meanings says endings, completion, walking away from something because there is nothing else to learn or experience. The Oracle's message: you are at the end of one journey and have not yet begun the next. This is the moment to bless your experience thus far. Take stock of what you've learned. It's time to move on to new experiences and a new way of being. There is nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in your present circumstances. Take the risk and move on, even if you need to be in transition for a time. Your destiny is calling you. So definitely an interesting message there as far as the your destiny is calling you part, because like I said, it feels like this might come on for you suddenly to where, like I said, it feels like you just want a more light energy, right? You want to feel like there's less responsibility on your shoulders. You want to get out and explore more, right? So for some of you, maybe that might have seemed like it came out of the blue for some of you, right? That Ace of Cups coming through to say all of a sudden you have this spark, this desire to do these new things that might have been a far cry from your normal routine. But could just be saying that, that feeling could be coming to you for a reason and for your growth overall. Okay, the relationship message says it's over, or at the very least, the form this relationship has taken is no longer of service to you or the other person. This is a time of letting go, of knowing that the journey has come to its conclusion. That doesn't mean anything is lost. Although this card could speak to a breakup, drifting apart, or the end of this whole contract, it is more about release than destruction. Remember the saying, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. If not, it never was. Endings are always a sign of new beginnings. If you want something deeper, walk away. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there. It doesn't necessarily come across as a romantic connection, but I will say, with that message in context, maybe that's how you're viewing the connection you're in, right? Where, let's say, if this is your energy, the Three of Pentacles, feeling like you're always doing the heavy lifting in the relationship and the person you're with, right? Given that this represents the environment, could always be in that position of expecting you to cater to them and things along those lines there, right? And maybe that's something that you're looking at and considering moving away from that. All right, the prosperity message says this message is clear. The path you've been on with your work, creative projects, and business alliances have come to an end. You will not find the success you desire by continuing with what is now in front of you. This is an auspicious sign because there is no choice that will benefit you other than risking stepping into the unknown. It is time to walk towards something new. This card also pertains to the more neutral concept of completion. You finish your task and can rest assured that this ending will open up a powerful new avenue of opportunity, even better than any you can imagine. You have done all you can. Now trust that Spirit keeps the plan moving forward. Fortune requires you to conclude this chapter of your life. And remember that when you close one door, another opens. See, that's an interesting message there, right? Because looking at it through the perspective of, let's say, a work environment, right? If you guys were in that Emperor energy already, right? And maybe you're saying, well, I don't necessarily have that desire to lead in this way anymore, right? So for some of you, this Three of Pentacles energy could point to you saying, okay, like I was saying, this could be you delegating authority to other people, like, hey, this is how you do X, Y, Z, right? To let them take on some of that work. That could be how you're viewing that role too, right? Like, okay, let me show others how to do what I've been doing as I decide to step away from it, at least temporarily, right? So, hope that resonated for you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.